The Mage Training Arena has always been a profitable way to train magic. However, because of a couple of updates that have happened and a few tricks I've stumbled on, it actually is even better than you might think. I'm not going to go very in depth about the easier aspects of this minigame, but more so give tips on how to progress through it much faster. In the Telegrabing Room, you have to repeatedly telegrab the statue to pull it towards you, and keep doing this until the maze is finished, and I'll link solutions to that in the description. This room received this awesome update where you no longer have to wait for the statue to finish moving before you do. My tip for this room is to move your player to the next position while the statue is moving. This seems like an obvious tip, but if you take full advantage of it, the room can go by a lot faster. You can position yourself at the edge of a side, so don't run further than you have to. Keep moving your character to the position they'll need to be in, and even keep in mind the next position after that. It's a lot better to have to wait for the statue to get to the right place than it is to wait for your character to get there. You can get 25,000 magic experience an hour here. It's still the slowest room in terms of points per hour, at only 161. At best, you'll get about half a point for every law rune you use. Up next, the Alchemy Room. You get points based on coins here. You get 1 point for every 100 coins you deposit. To get them, you have to alch the items from the cupboard. And the value of these items change, as well as their locations. You only want to alch items worth 30 coins, because ideally you'll have the item you need. And the best way to be successful in this room is knowing the location of all the items. This is actually possible to do. When the items switch spawns, it's random. However, the items are always in the same order. Where it shows the value of each item, it also shows you the order that the items are in. Except it doesn't show you that in between Rune Longsword and Leather Boots, there are 3 empty spaces. Pretend all the cupboards are connected, and the items just shift places. See, look at it like this. No matter where I put the emerald, it always has the same 2 items next to it. The Rune Longsword and the Adamant Helm. And it's like this for all the items, so just by knowing where one item is, you can figure out where the others are. After some practice with this, you can figure it out pretty quickly, and you'll know where the right item is. The only exception is when you loot an empty cupboard. Then I would suggest going to the opposite side and seeing what item is there instead. You get 2 magic experience for every single coin you deposit, and this is going to add up to a lot. Because of this, the XP from this room can be really high. The best I managed to get was 106k experience an hour. The points you get in this room are pretty slow though, at around 254 an hour. And this room is going to cost you the most in runes. For each nature rune, you only get 0.3 points. The Enchanting Room. There's not much tips I can give you about this room. This is without a doubt the fastest room for points. You want to use the best enchant you can on Dragonstones, then hop worlds and do it again. The problem though is there are other people doing this, and you have to find some worlds to yourself. I did this during off hours, and it wasn't much of a problem. I didn't have the magic level for Onyx Enchant, so I actually boosted for it. Since you are always hopping worlds, the boost will stay. So if your magic level is close to being able to do a better enchant, I highly suggest boosting. I also kept vials in my inventory because they don't weigh anything and it puts the Dragonstone in a more convenient place to enchant. The experience here will vary depending on what you're enchanting. Using the Onyx enchant, I was getting 47k experience an hour. In a perfect scenario where you're not sharing world with anyone else, you can almost get 8,000 points an hour, so you won't be here very long. I got 12 points for every cosmic used, but this will vary depending on the enchant you use. So, the Graveyard Room. This room you turn bones into bananas and deposit them for points, and certain bones give you more bananas than others. The thing about this room is while you're here, you'll constantly be taking damage, so you'll have to find some way to heal. I use bones to peaches, and that's probably the best method. If you don't have that unlocked yet, you could eat bananas, but it would probably be a lot easier if you just brought your own food. The bone pile changes what type of bone it is after you loot it 4 times. The best way to get faster at this room is to recognize how many of each bone you need before you convert them to bananas. This can be difficult because sometimes the bone piles change on their own, so you won't be able to keep a consistent pattern going. But if you manage to keep up with the total bone values as you go, and know when you're about to have a full inventory, you'll be set. That might be more effort than it's worth though, because I got lazy doing this and I just guessed when I had enough, and I don't think it slowed down my rates too much. So it's definitely possible to have higher rates than I did, but that's up to you whether it's worth it or not. The experience here is pretty terrible. I ended up with 8.5k experience an hour. Luckily you shouldn't be here too long because the points aren't bad at around 342 an hour. And runes don't cost very much either, because you'll get about 1.2 points per nature. The magic experience at the training arena isn't too terrible, considering the rewards you can get. Averaging the time spent and experience gained from all rooms, I was getting 43k magic experience an hour. Most of the experience was coming from the Alchemy Room though. But let's get to why we're actually here, the rewards. So as of right now, the two most profitable items to buy are Infinity Boots and Master Wand. Using the rates I got from each room, we'll do a little math. It would take 104 minutes to get Infinity Boots and cost around 230k in runes. And it would take 429 minutes for Master Wand and 960k in runes. Keep in mind these are the results I experienced, so you could do worse or even better. So a little more math. At current prices, with the Infinity Boots being right at 2 million and the Master Wand being around 8.4 million, you can make a little more than 1 million an hour buying Infinity Boots. And you'll make even more than that with the Master Wand. With there potentially being a new staff that requires the Master Wand, there's a good chance that you can make more than this soon. Oh cool, you made it this far in the video. I hope it helped. If you enjoyed the video and you're new to the channel, be sure to click that subscribe button. There are new videos every week and it would be cool to have you.